Hi, so I just wanted to address some things that have been going around the internet this week, and that's that rice is not suitable for dogs when they've got a digestive upset, because often we will be told by our vet to cook some chicken and rice if they've got a bit of an upset tummy. So just wanted to address how true that is, and whether rice is actually digestible. So the first thing is to look at the evidence. So actually there's quite a lot of evidence to say that rice is highly digestible. So just to pluck a few studies out there's one from the 90s by Walker and their team, and they looked at barley, rice, maize and oats, and they created diets that contained between 30 and 57% of those grains. So they were really high grain diets. And what they actually found was that the starch from all of those grains was nearly 100% digested in the small intestine. So really, really digestible. Following on from that was a study by Kempe and their team. And they looked at maize, rice, oats, barley and wheat. They actually measured the size and weight of the feces produced, which is how you do a proper digestibility test, and found that all of those grains dogs were highly efficient at digesting, and in fact rice came out as the most digestible, followed by oats. And then another one, which I apologise to this person if I pronounce their name wrong, but Carciofi and team, they looked at a mixture of grains and legumes. So they looked at peas, lentils, cassava flour, brewer's rice, sorghum and maize, and they actually found that all of those were over 98% digestible. The starch from those grains were over 98% digestible. So the evidence shows that they're really, really digestible. Following on from that, if we look at the veterinary therapeutic diets, those are the sort of ones that we might know as prescription diets, but the veterinary diets, the gastrointestinal ones, often they will use rice as one of the main ingredients, and that again is because it has been shown to be really, really digestible. Now, whether you like those companies or those diets or not, there's a lot of money and a lot of clinical research that goes into those diets and into producing them, and they wouldn't use ingredients that didn't work. So it's been used in pet foods for a long time, rice, because it is very easily digested. And I think it's a good time to address whether the fact that often people will say rice is just a filler, but to say that indicates that it has no nutritional value, which simply isn't true. It's a good source of calories. It contains B vitamins like niacin and thiamine. You can get folic acid from it, and if you're using brown rice you would get some fibre as well, but then there's other minerals and vitamins that it contains too, so it does supply nutrients as well. Now, I think the problem that we see as pet owners when we do home cook for our pets, say we're going with chicken rice, is that we're not actually cooking the rice for long enough. So when rice is in pet foods, it's been really, really well cooked. And when we cook at home, to get the rice to be easily digested, we need to really overcook it so that we're breaking down the starch in the rice. So we need to make sure that we're cooking it to a point where it's really overcooked and sticky, and also make sure that we're not offering our dogs far too much of it, because if they've already got a digestive problem, we really want to be feeding them little and often, and not putting down whole bowlfuls of rice for them to eat, because then that will reduce how digestible it is. And of course, it really depends on the individual dog. Yes, there are definitely going to be some dogs that just don't particularly digest it well, and they might do better on something else. But unfortunately, it is a bit of trial and error when it comes to finding what suits your individual dog. But as a general rule, it is not correct to say that rice is not digestible for dogs, because the evidence says that it is. So I hope that helps clarify a few questions that might be going around at the moment.